Alright, on to My Hero Academia Chapter 333 review. That's 3 threes in a row. So, this chapter is also called Spectre, and if you remember last time, Star and Stripe used her state-of-the-art hypersonic intercontinental cruise punch to reroute the Tiamat missiles and punch Shigaraki with them, even though he decayed then underground. So yeah, that happened. But this chapter starts off from Shigaraki's perspective, as he still has his hand on Star and Stripe's face. Take your quirk, as he thinks. What set me on edge, like nothing else, was the thought of New Order and One for All colluding. I put a stop to the Safety Commission and got my overseas associates to stir up trouble in order to delay the convergence of foreign heroes upon Japan. I had planned to perfect this body and still One for All before challenging New Order. One for All to accumulate power that could foil my designs. Once it was mine, all the other conspiracy forces of the world, including New Order, would have been ants before me. Whether you knew it or not, this most likely unsanctioned, free-spirited early visit of yours was the one scenario I hated to imagine. Placing this incomplete body on the front line was a gamble I was forced to make. But I won the roll of the dice, USA, as Shigaraki takes his hand off of Star and Stripe's head, as Star and Stripe also makes one more rule for herself. Kathleen Bale won't decay, nullifying her from the main part of Shigaraki's quirk. Then we see one of her fighter pilot bros say, "She took the hit for my sake. You total idiot," as Star thinks. "I'm done for. I exceeded the cap of my endurance boost." And Shigaraki says, "I've stolen it." "Idiot, you say?" "I have to agree there. Your body began decaying the moment I absorbed your quirk. New Order requires those verbal commands, so I knew I couldn't protect you as it was being stolen. You prioritized saving your own skin and lost everything in the process. This is where it truly begins, Yoichi. The stories I read of you that day, those comics, you thought I didn't realize there was more to the story, wrong? I knew how it would go, so I chose to stop reading there, as Shigaraki starts to make his first rule for New Order. New Order, the air is, as we see Kathleen Bale appear in front of Shigaraki in his inner world. All full, no decaying marks, as the fusion between him and All for One look at her in the inner world, as Shigaraki in the real world explode, as one of the fire pilots observes and says, "Toma's bursting apart." Then we see Shigaraki exploding some more and him thinking, "What's going on? My quirks are exploding out." And the fighter pilot sort of analyzes this and says, "Hang on, you think that maybe Star?" And Star thinks, "That's right. There's no time to blow them up with your plane, so I set a new rule at the last second. New Order revolts against other quirks." As we see in Shigaraki, All for One's inner world, Kathleen just going and tearing him apart, just destroying him and all of the quirk factors inside him, as All for One just yells out her name in anguish. And Star and Stripe thinks, the worst case would have been dying and having my quirk stolen outright. Sure, it would have been nice to protect my body too, as an added bonus. Too bad. Stopping this global menace, just in exchange for my life, is a small price to pay. As she thinks, "Bros, thanks for everything," as one of them yells, "Star!" And Shigaraki thinks, this backlash against my quirks is like a cannibalistic invader. This is dire. It can only steal quirks or bestow them. I just can't dispose one. I must give it away. The pilots, I'll force it on one of them. As all of the fighter pilots fire all of the lasers at him, accumulating into a massive burnt Shigaraki, as the lead one says, "Star's still fighting a good fight inside that scumbag. He's working really hard to fall him apart. Keep lighting him up, boys. Star's sacrifice isn't going to go to waste on our watch." As we see inside her inner world, where Star and Stripe is still just destroying All for One and Shigaraki. And Shigaraki thinks my reflect quirk has been destroyed. And Star thinks, as we see her decaying in the real world, thinking, because you saved me back then, I got to indulge in this lovely dream of mine, as we sort of cut just to look at All Might, the back of All Might, the image we've seen a few times before, just squatting in front of Kathleen, just sort of looking and saying, as she says thank you to him. And we see her smile one last time in the real world as she's decaying, as she thinks, All Might, this is me returning the favor. As Shigaraki, All for One, whatever that thing is, just yells, curses, quickly, damn it, damn you, Spectre of All Might, as we see the lasers continue to being fired into Shigaraki, All for One's body, and Star and Stripes still fighting a good fight on the inside. And that is the end of the chapter. Now, I don't really have a lot to say on this one. I think it is a very good chapter. I really like the twist of her making that final roll of my quirk will destroy all other quirks now. Sort of being that, like, if that was one of the parts passed down in One for All, like, all of Deku's quirks will not exist anymore, and this is it's really the perfect counter to his ability, to All for One's ability of just destroying all of the quirk factors. It is very interesting, and especially that we know that there's a living part in every quirk. Will Star and Stripes still remain an All for One, even though, since her quirk will always be rampaging unless he passes it on to one of the fighter pilots, which, I don't know how I feel about that. I sort of hope it doesn't take him out, but also takes him out. But, yeah, it's this chapter. It was a very good one. A lot of action. It was very hard to follow on the first read-through. You had to read it a few times to figure the whole thing out. But, yeah, I'd say it's a good chapter, and thank you for watching, and this is Glowplasma231.